Let's start again. Yeah. Bullet holes. Okay, I know what evidence I need to use here. We gotta speed it up. Because if she said that she had only been in for a second, there's absolutely no way she would have been able to see the bullet holes because the door opens inward, which means that the bullet holes were behind the door. Objection. Sanchez. So yeah, I just saw that it's Sanchez, but anything is better than, yeah, this is true. But lies are hardly becoming of such a creature. A put-down worthy of our prosecutor, Mr. Justice. Such put-downs are hardly becoming of you, Apollo. Stop polishing your forehead and start polishing your character, yeah? Come on, can I be cool for once? Observe the diagram. Lamorar, you looked in from the door for just a moment, correct? Yes, that is so. There were bullet holes in this room, yes. But they were in the wall the door is on. Huh? Or hold it. Yeah, those, I didn't think that they were that loud. I thought I was way louder. Assuming you merely glanced into the room, you couldn't have seen those bullet holes. Eee! Or that scream. Is we a dead account? You kind of like the extra H? Yeah, it gives it character. Or, as I like to say, character. Get it? Because I added an H in the character to... Anyway. Lamorar. Yes? I'm afraid the defense has raised a good point. It appears you have been holding back something. And I must tell you? Yeah, otherwise you go to jail for lying. I must tell you what it is that I saw? Yes. The happenings in this trial are being recorded. And I'm certain it will be on the news in Virginia. Or Borginia, or yeah. Character. Builds good character. You understand your reputation is at stake. It falls to you to avoid tarnishing it. Personally speaking, I still believe that cross-examining her will yield us absolutely nothing. But she knew how Mr. Latus died, and he named her as a witness. You must have seen something, Lamorar. Very well. Lamorar, please continue your testimony. Very well, I shall. What I saw, too. I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit. There was something like a little window there. That's how I saw it. There were 2 shots. I couldn't do anything to stop it. But it wasn't Machi. It was a grown person. I know it was. So you did witness the crime, and the killer was a grown person, you say? Ugh, this is my first time hearing this, I assure you. Nice play, Air Forehead. Yeah, you were the one just saying it doesn't even matter. Very well, Mr. Justice, you may begin your cross-examination. Great going, Apollo. You were right about Lamorar. What's wrong? You don't look too happy. This whole thing smells fishy. That's what's wrong. What I saw, too. Electric Boogaloo. I might have already said that. Sorry if I repeat jokes sometimes. I forget things very quickly. What I saw, too. Okay. On our way from the stage, backstage exit, there was something like a little window there. That's how I saw it. You saw it through the window? Hold it. Hold it. Get it. What exactly is something like a little window? You know what it is. Yes, well, window is the best word I know in English. I think this is how it is said, yes. You need not worry, Lamorar. Your choice of words is impeccable. There is a small window in the dressing room in question. Perhaps the defense remembers this detail? That little window on the wall. saw the crime. Oh, I saw the crime from there. Do not open. But it was open. Or maybe it wasn't open. Oh yeah, we're here now. Hold it. Hold it. You are certain you heard 2 shots fired? Yes, quite certain. I was on my way to the backstage exit. This was when I heard a faint sound, like a gunshot. Wondering what it had been, I peered through the window. That is when I heard the second gunshot much closer. And there were 2 bullet holes at the scene. No contradiction so far. It all happened on the other side of that window. There was nothing I could do. But it wasn't Machi. Hold it. It wasn't Machi who shot. Are you sure? Yes, quite certain. Yeah, tiny kid. Yeah, I don't know. They love it. It amuses me that he would question her testimony. It is testimony in your favor. Isn't it my job to object? Yeah, Paula, what are you thinking? Trucy, let's just listen to what Lamorora has to say. Can you tell me how you were so sure? Yes, of course. You see, as a grown person, I know what. Hold it! A grown person? That's a little vague. I'm sorry. My skill with your language is lacking, I know. Certainly you could at least see whether the shooter was male or female. It was a man, a young man. And you're sure of that? Yes, his voice was quite clear. Voice? Yeah, this diagram, it seems the dressing room was quite cluttered. It does seem likely that you wouldn't have had a clear view of the shooter. As a singer, I rely more on my ears than my eyes. Wow, yeah. As a person, I rely more on my ears than my eyes. That's why I got into an accident, police officer man. When I hear a voice, I do not forget it. That voice was the voice of a man. You heard a voice, but wait. Couldn't that have been the victim, Mr. Latour? She would have known. Didn't you hear what she just fucking said? Fucking Clavier! Absolutely not. Did I not just say that I do not forget a voice? If it was Mr. Latouche who spoke, I would have known. Indeed. So you were at the window and you heard the shooter's voice, the voice of a young man. Apollo, this is a good testimony. That proves it wasn't Machi. Indeed. If this turns out to be true, it would cast this case in a considerably different light. What is the defense's opinion of this testimony? You used to rely on your ears, but a game yelled hold it directly. No, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, princess. I didn't think the game was that loud. Is it kind of loud? Well, I guess the hold its are kind of loud. Though it pains me to say this, there's something about Lamorore's testimony that rings false. Bravo, Air Forehead. You're colder than I thought. I'm sure you remember what the problem is as well as I do, Gavin. As has been established, no grown man could pass through that air vent. He couldn't have fled the scene of the crime. But that means Lamorore has to be lying. I know, and I know it's bad for our case, but I can't shut my eyes to this. Oh, you were sleeping very close. Okay. I'm sorry that I woke you up, though, princess. You deserve your royal sleep. Believe me, the idea was tempting. It is as Air Forehead says. Yet this is not the only contradiction within her testimony. What's next? What's he talking about? Lamorore, I understand why you would want to protect Machi. Yet remember, you are the siren of the ballad. And lies do not become such a creature. What does the prosecution mean? Apollo, what's he talking about? How come no one bats an eye when he says stuff like that? I recall the state of the crime scene quite well. State of the room? Yes, and when the murder took place. That window was closed. I find it hard to believe you could hear a voice through it. What? But I'm sure. Lemuror, I have nothing but the highest regard for your musical sense. But my opinion of you as a witness is somewhat lesser. Wow. But she's the only eyewitness we have. So you say, and the victim named her the Siren as the witness? That's right, that's what Mr. Latouche. We heard your claim, we even entertained the possibility, and it brought us to this. Judge. Yes? The prosecution requests that the witness be excused. Please. I'm afraid I must honor the prosecution's request. There is indeed a question of the witness's credibility. But if Lemuror can't testify, then we don't have a chance of proving Machi's innocence. This cross-examination is over, Prosecutor Gavin. You may continue making your case. Danke. Wow. Now, where were we? Yes, I would like to hear from Fraulein Detective again. Objection! Wait, let me hear Lemuror's testimony one last time. But the cross-examination is already over. Until such a time as a need arises, this witness may leave the stand. I'm sorry I could not be of more assistance. No! At last, back to the real trial. Ready, Air Forehead? Ugh, I hope I didn't just miss my only chance. Fraulein Detective, how far had we gotten until we were so rudely interrupted? Don't ask me. I just like saying the same thing twice, and I never repeat a song for an encore. If you would, Miss Sky, I'm tired of hearing this man talk. I believe I was saying that the only way Mr. Latouche's killer could have escaped was through that air vent on the ceiling. Yes, there was only one door in the room, and a witness, you, was standing in front of it. That air vent isn't very big, see? Kind of limits the people who could possibly get through. Certainly would have a difficult time. You sure would. Not that you would have been there in the first place, though. Remember, the whole backstage area was off limits to people not involved with the concert. The only one who meets the conditions for our killer is the defendant. A virtuoso performance. Couldn't have put it better myself. She does state a clear case. Though, reading the report, something caught my eye. Oh, what's that? The circumstances of the defendant's arrest. Circumstances? Again? Hey, that's right, Apollo. Remember when we found Machi? That was bizarre. She's right. Why did Mr. Latouche's body disappear from the room and end up on top of that stage tower? Holding a guitar, no less. A perceptive observation, Air Judge. Thanks. It was kind of an accident, really. But you work in this job long enough, you get a nose for things. The judge sure seems pleased with himself. Very good, Fraulein Detective. Perhaps you can tie it all together for us. Why was the body moved? And how does that lead us to the killer? The missing body. I believe Machi stole the body because of some lyrics. He moved the body to match Lemuror's song. No one in this country had a motive to kill the victim. And Machi practically left his signature at the scene. All of this evidence clearly points to the defendant. You love the judge. The judge is very quirky. He's not very smart, but he does his best. He's a lovable character, but not the best judge. So yeah, exactly. He's just like, yeah. I remember my youth back in 1906. Lemuror's song. Yes, the guitar serenade. You notice it's code too, did you not? It's code? All the events that day followed the lyrics to our song. First, the keys my heart held onto so tightly were stolen. Then Prosecutor Gavin's guitar burst into flames on stage. Mr. Latusse's life was taken by a bullet. The rest hardly needs explanation. Guitar, up together to the sky. That's mad. It's like a story out of some fairy tale. Yeah, it is. If Machi is a small person, yeah, that's why I was wondering too. And also the thing is, one of the big emphases in this case is that this person was killed by a .45 caliber pistol. And while they are over exaggerating the power of a .45 caliber pistol, a child would have a very hard time handling that. They were like, yeah, if you shoot a .45, you can dislocate your shoulder. And I'm like, okay, I've shot one before, and I know I'm built kind of sturdy, but it definitely wouldn't take your shoulder out unless you just really didn't know what you were doing. Like just shooting it from the recoil. I'd admit I'd forgotten about that song, but there it is now, waiting for me. The grand finale, as it were. Hey, you know, I was the one who first noticed that. I've heard of jumping rope to songs and counting to songs, but killing? It's a wild world out there, Judge. Very well, we've heard one song and dance. Let's get on to the next, the cross-examination. I'm not sure I'm gonna be doing much singing. Yeah, probably not. I'm pretty sure that somebody carried both of them up that tower, to be honest. The missing body. Hold it. Hold it. Does the prosecution have any idea why he'd do all this? Or how? You want my scientific opinion? No clue. But he clearly had a reason to go through all that trouble. Some deep reason. A deep reason. Not only did he steal my keys, he torched my guitar. Unforgivable acts even if he had a reason. And worse if he had none. The diva's complaints aside, I can't imagine someone doing this just on a whim. Fraulein Detective, I take offense at that. Indeed, it does seem too well rehearsed, shall we say. Yes, this crime was planned for sure. But he's a child. Hold it. But Mr. Latouche spoke English. He may have come to this country before. I looked into that, I assure you. Oh. It was his first time in the country, it seems. Apparently, he learned English on his own. Great. You see? No one here had a motive to kill him, and certainly not in such an elaborate fashion. Does seem difficult to imagine. Unless our famous prosecutor did it as a publicity stunt. What did you say? Prosecutor Gavin, you did this to promote your song? Yeah, put him in jail. Put him in jail. Of course not, and I am quite dismayed by the ludicrous nature of her claim. Why would I need promotion? Everyone already listens to my music. Wow. They're even in my textbook at school. I'd never heard of them. What does it say about me? I was just kidding. Don't get all worked up, Glimmer Boy. Hold it. Hold it. Probably talking about the fingerprints. What do you mean by his signature? The bullet holes in the wall, of course. The bullet holes? The revolver was fired twice. One shot missed and left a hole in the wall. And that means what exactly? That dressing room isn't exactly spacious. Picture the shooter facing off with the victim in there. Yeah, I don't listen to his music either. Can we throw that out? He doesn't know what he's talking about. Yeah, there are two holes. Well, because they're saying that both, like, one bullet missed and the other bullet passed straight through him since it was a .45 caliber. So they're like, yeah, it's a pretty big gun. It probably just went like, pachoo. Picture the shooter face. Yeah. They can't have been more than 5 feet apart. It would be difficult, almost impossible to miss at that range. Yeah. I mean, if you're using target rounds, it's really easy for a bullet to just pass straight through a person. Because it's just like, and actually it's more dangerous to shoot somebody with target rounds because it's easier for them to bleed out because they're just left with a hole in them rather than having like the metal kind of stuck there. Although, hollow point rounds are a good, they have much better stopping power because all of that force is transferred to the body. And the damage is, the internal damage is probably worse, but maybe less likely to bleed out. I'm not quite sure. I haven't been shot before to test this out. Difficult to miss, you say? Very. Assuming the shooter could properly aim. No, you can't be serious. Machi, he can't see. That's why he missed? It's the only explanation that makes sense. He used sound and other senses to fire the gun. He used echolocation to figure out where this man was. But one did, yeah, exactly. Poorly. That reminds me, the monitor in that room was blaring at the time, yeah? Hardly ideal conditions for tracking by sound. A blind shooter. No wonder he missed. Wow. I knew those bullet holes would come back to haunt me. Think, Justice, what do I do now? Raise an objection. Sure, there were bullet holes left in the wall. But that doesn't prove the shooter couldn't see. Oh, how so? Well, there could have been a struggle with the victim. That's certainly possible. And it might have been the revolver's fault. The revolver? The revolver was a very large caliber, correct? The shooter wasn't used to firing such a large weapon. Why, it could dislocate their shoulder. Yeah, they keep bringing this up too. Exactly. The defendant, Machi Tabai, is, as you can see, tiny. It's not so hard to picture him firing the gun and missing entirely. The kickback alone would throw off his aim. Didn't I just name the... Did I just say, yeah, this is why he could gun? Convincing argument, to be sure. Haha, take that, smug prosecution. You just Oh, that's bad. Apollo. Huh, what? That bit about Machi being tiny and the gun throwing off his aim. Aren't you kind of, admitting that he did it? I mean, if you were very small, yeah. Or if you were a smaller person, you didn't have very much musculature and you shot it like one-handed, then maybe. But yeah, like there's definitely quite a kick on a 45, but it's not enough to like destroy your body. Unless you're like the one chick who tried to shoot like a shotgun like this and like bashed yourself in the head, because that's not how you shoot a shotgun. At least not without like properly holding it. You're supposed to have it butted up against your shoulder so that the force goes somewhere. Oh, it does not matter why he missed. Yeah, a lot of the people in this game aren't very smart, which is weird because I think you got to know a lot of stuff to get through law school, but what do I know? I never went there. What matters is that the shooter was, without a doubt, the defendant. Can you be that chick? Do you want to be Trucy, the one with the magician's hat? Even the defense seems to agree on that point. Cripes, I really put my foot in it this time. The gun kicking out of your hand. Yeah, this is true. Although you'd probably get hit in the face with the gun at that point. But let's get the facts of the matter on the record. If you would, Fraulein Detective. Very well, the witness will add this to her testimony. Right. Unless you're talking about Emma. You could be either one. In the state of the crime scene, I could conclude that the shooter was blind. Smash her nose and cute her. One in exchange? Aw. Doesn't look so good, does it, Apollo? No, it doesn't. What do we do? First, we don't panic. Even though Machi's case is leaking water by the gallon, Gavin's on a roll and it's up to me to stop him. Aww. but Princess, you're already cute. Super cute. Machi practically left his signature at the scene. Can I say, hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Maybe. You can't say he was blind just because of those bullet holes in the wall. I think I've just proven that. I wouldn't call that proof per se. You merely raised a possibility. No. Berlin detective has made a most logical conjecture based upon the evidence. Of course, there is more evidence than just bullet holes. The defendant was the only one who could have escaped through the air vent. But wait, if he was blind, how would he know about the air vent in the first place? Ah, very good point. Well, Fraulein Detective, if you would care to explain. Certainly seems sure of himself. Recall the crime scene, if you would. There was a stepladder below the air vent. As it happens, the maintenance was scheduled for that day. Custodial staff went around checking all the air vents. I don't believe it. Everyone backstage was told about the maintenance, including Machi Tabai. He would have known that there would be a way out at the top of that stepladder. But why is this the first time I'm hearing about this? You could have figured it out for yourself. You only needed to consider what that stepladder was doing there. Looks like the defense's objection has been squished by a stepladder. Well, Air Forehead, out of ammunition perhaps? Never seen Prosecutor Gavin so aggressive. Maybe he's caught the scent of blood. Apollo, don't you have something? Anything? You know what we need? We need something to prove the killer could see. That'll put him in his place. Proving the shooter was sighted would do it. That would take down one of their central points. Do you have any evidence that can prove that, though? Yeah, wow. Yeah, Trucy stole it from you. What could prove that this guy could see? That's fine. Dun, 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 dun. Trucy is a copycat? Yeah, Trucy just doesn't care. Trucy does what Trucy wants. Okay. Oh, you know what? That got wiped out. Okay. Yeah. I was like, I think it's this because that should have been clear for me to be able to read, but. Okay, time to present. Fine, I accept the prosecution's challenge. As I knew you would, Air Forehead. What exactly am I up against here? You had to see it to know where the victim was standing? I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's kind of weird. I kind of figured that this kid was probably pretending that he was blind. But, yeah. I'm not sure. What exactly am I up against here? The prosecution is saying the shooter missed because he or she couldn't see. Therefore, Machi, who's blind, did it. Defense will please present their evidence. Evidence that overturns the prosecution's claim that the shooter couldn't see. Also, I'm gonna get up and close my window. Or the blinds, because the sun is getting to the point where it's in my face. Very rude, by the way. Okay, anyway. Take that! Take that! Take that. Take that. Take that! There. First try. Yeah, I will put them in jail, don't worry. They're very bad. This is that evidence. The photograph of the crime scene. I don't care much for the smirk on Prosecutor Gavin's face, but this is no time to think twice. Time to press on. Yeah, enthusiasm is the key. Yes, Your Honor, the crime scene. There's something in here that decisively contradicts the prosecution's point. Then perhaps you'd best show us this something. Get your finger out of the breeze and put it to good use. Yeah? What? What does that even mean? What? Whatever. Very well, show us what you're talking about, Mr. Justice. The contradiction at the scene of the crime is... The contradiction is right here. The smeared bloodstains. I thought it was just my blurry vision, but it really was blurry. The way the victim's hand is raised above his head, much like a gesture I've seen many times in this court. It's almost as if he wrote something. You know what, probably. I get it, at least I think I get it. Get what, Fraulein? When Mr. Latouche was shot, he tried to write something. And what would he write but the shooter's name? And what would he write it in but his own blood? Pretty good, huh? Thanks for making my point for me. Yes, in fact, that's what I think happened here. That does seem to be a distinct possibility. The victim wrote the killer's name. It's certainly a logical conclusion. I just wish it wasn't all rubbed out like that. Of course it's rubbed out. Why, if I were a killer, I certainly wouldn't want to leave my own name behind. Neither would I. Hey, guys, no one has anything else to say? About what? So the prosecution accepts this. You agree that this was the victim making an attempt to record the name of the killer, and that the killer tried to rub the name out. What's your point? What's my point? Let me ask you this. How did the killer know the victim was writing their name? Well, Mr. Latouche was writing something in blood. Once the killer saw what it was... Wait. Once he saw what it was... But what did you just testify about the shooter? I said they were blind. Dak! Yet the crime scene itself contradicts that. Yeah, they are. The killer had to have been able to see. Why would they rub out the name in blood otherwise? Why would they rub one out in that room? May I remind the court that the defendant, Machi Tabai, is blind? He couldn't have been the shooter. Impossible! Order, order, order. Prosecutor Gavin, please explain to me what all this means. Wow. I mean, looking at this photo, it seems quite clear that the shooter could see. Yet up until now, seems I owe the court an apology. The Gaviners are a band with law enforcement ties, yet a murder occurred. During our concert, apparently this caused some confusion over jurisdiction. As a result, some reports were not filed in an entirely timely manner. I'm not sure I like the vibe I'm getting here. Hey, Apollo, look at him. Why is Prosecutor Gavin all relaxed and smiling like that? Like he knows something we don't, and he's about to tell us. I've got an idea. Let's rock! With these documents... but before that, I have a question for the Fraulein detective. If I may. But what? Tell me, why do you think that Mache Tabai is blind? What did he say? What are you saying? Of course he's blind. Of course. He's the blind pianist, right? So he's... Doesn't Lammeror lead him around in hand all the time? No way. I have a report here on the defendant, Machi Tabai. According to this, Machi Tabai can see perfectly well. What? His blindness was merely a publicity ploy by those clever Borginians. That sounds like a fucking racist-ass comment right there. You know them, always pulling the wool over everybody's eyes. Dang Borginians. He can see quite well. But you said... What did I say exactly? Air Forehead, not once in the course of this trial have I claimed the defendant was blind. Fuck you. The only one who did was Fräulein Detective. But that's a significant fact, yes. Consider, Machi Tabai sees, and he was the only one who could have fled through the air vent. I see no problems with this. But what about the bullet holes in the wall? Yes, the bullet holes. I believe Air Forehead neatly explained those for us. He didn't miss because he couldn't see. It was the kickback from the .45 caliber revolver. A simple accident, in other words. Gak! How's that? I'm afraid your objection has just flown off for brighter skies. Ugh. This is where the real fun begins, Air Forehead. This dumb face. I don't remember Phoenix looking that dumb, but maybe I just don't remember. I knew you didn't have what it took. You jerk! Just what was I in here for? Comic relief? Yeah, apologize! Oh, sorry. There's no way to apologize. He's angered the Trucy now, look out. We can please end the bickering. Now. Yeah, stab him. I'm still not a fan of him. Whatever, I'm not leaving. I can't leave like this. I'll come up with some clue to solving this case if it kills me. But your testimony has already given us enough to convict the defendant. Don't say that. Just so you would stop talking, yeah. Aha, what? This blood stain. The criminal tried to wipe it off, right? That seems to be what happened, yes? We might be able to find out what was really written there. Really, you can do that? That's right, with this. It's called luminol. Maybe you know of it? It's a chemical that reacts to blood. Ah, yes. Have we done those tests yet? As if I'm gonna tell you. The blood stains covered a section of the carpet. In order to perform blood tests, that section was removed and submitted. Perhaps we should request it here in court now. Thanks for the carpet. I thought it was tile. Right, go for it, Apollo. Huh, I have to do the test. You just have to spray the luminol on it. Simple. A chemical that reacts to blood. I've heard of this somewhere. Yeah, in the earlier games, maybe. Yes, I believe an analysis is called for. Have at it. Right, ready? It's easy as pie. Just touch the screen to spray an area. Here, give it a try. The eyes of the entire court are focused on me. Apollo, your hand's shaking. Ugh. God, let's do this. Okay. Oh. What the hell is that? Drinking game every time take that is said. Oh no, I mean, it would be a fun night if we survived, Princess. I'm sure we could figure it out. Wow, it really works. Yeah, this must be the power of science. It says IPXX314206? Is that the killer's name? Maybe it is if the killer was a robot. Oh, God. Aha, I have it. So what is it? I thought those letters IPXX looked familiar. Easy way to go back to sleep forever. I don't want you to sleep forever. I do like it when you sleep an ample amount of time, but not forever. Then I wouldn't be able to talk to you and I'd be sad. This is an Interpol ID number. Oh. Interpol? You mean the International Police Agency? Yes. Most are undercover agents working to solve international crime. But why would he write that number? Why would Mr. Latouche even know a number like that? Good show, Fraulein Detective. Rock on. Oh no. Your Honor, we can verify this number immediately. Darian, are you there? Come up to the witness stand. It's you, you bastard. Darian, you heard what we need. Go check into this Interpol ID number. Sure thing, give me 30 minutes. No, give me 27. Plug it into a computer. You get it done in like a minute. What the fuck? What, really? Why can't they just call someone? I'm not sure what to think of all of this. The prosecution's case is airtight, so it seems. Yet if this number really is that of an Interpol agent... Oh wait, I know. What if Machi Tabai is really an undercover Interpol agent? That would be a possibility. Possibility, yes, and one that would mark him as the killer for certain. How did Latouche know an Interpol ID number? That's what I want to know. Well, we have some time while we await Darian's report. Let's work on unraveling another mystery, shall we? A curious mystery concerning Machi Tabai. Interpol is a pretty big thing, huh? What are you talking about? Fraulein Detective, please accept my apologies. I received word that the defendant could, in fact, see just before the trial began. It seemed too much of a bother to tell you. That's a fucking stupid excuse. Get out of here. Hope no one can get those files in 1 minute. Would be surprised. People can get a lot of things. Does this not raise a rather straightforward question? Tabai? Yeah, I'm thinking it's probably Tabaye or Tabaye, but I don't know. I just say Tabai because I'm lazy. I'm sorry. Does this not raise a rather straightforward question? Well, sure. Why did Machi pretend he couldn't see? Exactly. It makes little sense. What do you think, Air Forehead? Huh? Me? Machi Tabai pretended he was blind. Do you know why? And also that way, if anybody watches this on YouTube and they're like, it's Tabaye, I could be like, ha! So sad I'm not saying it that way because it's too many syllables. How could he know? Wait, Prosecutor Gavin knows why, doesn't he? He's known from the start of the trial. He's been leading us on the whole time. Something wrong? Do you think, perhaps, this is all some kind of game? Questions the ethics, exactly. Know that the moment I heard that report, I knew why. I suppose people who have sold over 1 million records really are something else. What does that have to do with anything? There was a reason why Machi Tabai pretended to be blind. But it wasn't for his own sake. Getting the picture now? It wasn't for himself. Well, Mr. Justice, can you present evidence that shows us why the defendant had to feign blindness? Show evidence. Machi had no reason to pretend he couldn't see. Which means, no, it couldn't be. Good show, Air Forehead. It seems you've thought of something. Ugh, why can't I figure these things out on my own? I hate to have to take my cues from this guy. Yeah, no matter what. Yeah, he's not a very good. There we go, look at this. This is why he was pretending he couldn't see. Let me check the postcard. Oh yeah, sight and, okay. And saying, yeah, it was the postcard because of some painting thing. Take that! Did it. That is Lamorar? Lamorar and Machi Tabai. Recall their relationship. In particular, their unique arrangement over the years before visiting our country. Lammeror and her pianist. They would always walk together, she leading him by the hand. Even when they got on stage, she would lead him to the piano. She would walk all the way over there with him. That's right, because he was blind. She led him at all times, never letting him go. All times, Yet, we have just learned something that makes their arrangement peculiar indeed. Machi could see. Why did they have to keep up this act the whole time? Well, wasn't it part of their performance? I think there's a simpler explanation. Machi did not need to be led by the hand at all. That can only mean one thing. Really? Really, it was all the other way around. The one who needed to be led by the hand was Lammeror! Oh. You can present new evidence whenever you like. Yeah, this is true. What's this? So you mean to say that Lammeror is... Yes, Your Honor. Lammeror is blind. What? Wait, then how did she get it? What? Okay. Okay, that's quite the twist. Order. This is crazy, Prosecutor Gavin. You just ate 2 quesadillas? I ate a taco earlier, and I have a second taco ready to go once I finish upstream. Tacos. Is it now? Please shed some sanity on this madness. Because he's the prosecutor for this game, even if he is dumb. I guess that's terrible. The defense has made an outrageous claim. The only thing outrageous I see about the defense is his vast forehead. Yet I see it is not vast in vain. This time, he's a criminal. Oh no, this is his brother. This is his younger brother. The rocker bro. Yeah, this is Clavier, who still, yes! Feed you a taco, please? I will feed you all the tacos, cat. Yeah, who's a criminal? Well, I mean, he's in a criminal family. But no, they look basically the same, except he doesn't have glasses and he rocks out. He has a motorcycle. Oh, and Gavin was a defense. Yeah, true, that as well. Sorry, I already forgot. Like she didn't see the killer or no. Yeah, oh. And that's why her hearing is so good. Because she literally cannot see. Whoa! Damn. Blowing my mind. He's quite correct. But that makes no sense! Yeah, wasn't she supposed to be the landscape painter in sound or something? Well, since we have her here, why don't we ask her herself? Yeah, you did it! I believe she is still in the witness waiting room. Apollo, what does this mean for our case? Yeah, painter in sound. Yeah, there's so many times where he's like, well, I never said this. I just was talking. And I'm like, fuck you, Clavier, you dumb bitch. Don't hide shit from us. I have no idea she couldn't see. I hadn't even imagined it until now. Yeah. Bailiff, bring in Lammeror. Lammeror, it pains me deeply to call you before us again in this way, and yet I must. Please, do not be concerned on my behalf. Those eyes, she really can't see? Really? It is true. Ah! How funny it is that a tiny lie born in the Borginian countryside would one day grow to entangle the entire world. So you are? Yes, as I mentioned before, I have no memory of the time before I became Lammeror. Know too that my memories begin in darkness. The word light has no meaning for Lammeror. I see. You may recall me saying something toward the beginning of this trial, Air Forehead. What's that? I believe I said it was unfortunate this crime had no direct witnesses. Oh, because she couldn't see it. You dumb fucking piece of shit. I hate him. Ah. Now, Lammeror, I must ask you to stand once more. Will you testify to the court about your eyes? Of course. It was never my intent to deceive any of you. May I begin, Your Honor? Yes, of course. Can witnesses be blind? Though I admit I'm a little lost here. I think we're all a bit lost here, Your Honor. Witness testimony. I have no memory of the light. I debuted in a world of darkness and sound. Yeah, I know, he's being such a turd. My producer came up with my PR line before he knew this. So silly as it may sound, I had to pretend I could see. Everyone on my staff knew, of course, but no others. But this is a murder trial. I apologize. It was a part of my contract, you see. I was to keep my blindness a secret, no matter what. Music is everything for me. I never imagined something like this would. Told us the truth in the beginning. I know, can we have a taco break? That would be nice. When she said she saw nothing. Very well, does the defense have anything to add? No, I'd like to cross-examine. But what is there left to ask? There was one thing in her testimony that bothered me. Perhaps it is best we let you get it out of your system. Someday you'll come to understand the importance of thinking for yourself. Very well, the defense may proceed. However, be aware this court will not tolerate any questions deemed too stressful to the witness. Okay. There was only one part of that bothered me. Just let me ask about that and I'll be happy. Dun, dun. I have no memory of the light. I debuted in a world of darkness and sound. Oh, sorry, you saw like the green screen when I looked at the shadows. Actually, you can kind of see the edge of it. How can you see the edge? Let's not worry about that right now. My health is super low because I got to one question and I was like, what the hell is the answer? And I failed it like 5 times. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. That worked. When you say your staff, do you include Mr. Latouche? Of course, he was my manager, so he knew, and that's what's been bugging me. Something the matter, Mr. Justice? There we go. That brightened me up a bit, but it also helped with the background. I believe I know what is bothering our young defense attorney. You are thinking of when you discovered the body, yes? Is he right, Apollo? Yes, I was. He's alive! Mr. Latouche, can you hear me? Cold, so cold. Yeah, hey, remember? You're so cold, you're gonna be fine. Can't see. Like, this is literally the 5th fucking time or 6th time I've seen the same flashback. Mr. Latouche told me to ask the witness, and he named you. Why would he do that? He knew you were blind. I don't know. What did I just say? Hey, what's going on, Gar? You need to learn to think for yourself. For more than 4 hours? It's been 4.5. This is, once I finish this segment of the trial, I probably am gonna end though, just because I really want to eat the second taco. You're high once again. Well, hi, I'm Chaos. Yeah, welcome. What is going on here? A lot of bullshit. Meaning what? Like Clavier being a dick bag. There is no mystery here if you recall everything he said. Think of his last words once more. The witness siren? We've heard them many times, along with a little play acting by our defense. I remember them well myself, but that statement is not to not to what I refer. I'm doing well. I mean what he said before that. Before? What came before that? Ack! That's right. He tried to tell you. When he said can't see, he wasn't talking about himself. He was talking about the witness. I see. Too bad the defense did not. Well, Air Force, well, I knew that, but apparently he didn't. Try relaxing and looking at the facts first next time. Wow, that's incredibly fucking offensive to our witness who is blind. Clavier, can you kindly go choke on a dick? Thanks. Arrgh! Man, this guy is a fucking asshole. Order. I mean, you know, Edgeworth was just kind of, and he also didn't like talking about feelings. Clavier's just a dick. Recall Lamarar's earlier testimony. I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit. There were 2 shots. I couldn't do anything to stop it. Slappin', I will. But she couldn't have heard those gunshots. I thought we proved that. That is not the most important point here. The moment he was shot, Mr. Latouche witnessed her through that window. Why else would he have named her as the witness? But I really did hear them. 2 gunshots, and the man's voice. Unfortunately, such a thing was impossible. The window was closed. Have you ever heard of the fact that blind people have better hearing because that's the main sense they use to get around, you fucking piece of shit? We have already run a simulation, of course. But it was so clear. If I heard that voice again, I would know it in an instant. Your Honor! What is it, bailiff? Can't you see we're in session here? We have the results back from the investigation. The investigation? The Interpol number that Mr. Latouche left us. Well, let's hear it. We will continue this cross-examination afterward. Detective Crescend, your report, please. I asked Interpol about that number. I'm sure you'll find their answer intriguing. Quick work as always, Darian. Well, tell us about the number. Is the defendant a secret agent? IPXX 314206. The agent registered under this number was Romain Latouche. What? Our undercover Interpol agent was Mr. Latouche himself. What the fuck? He apparently was in the middle of an operation. I don't know. He's got too much going on. So when he wrote those letters, he was trying to tell us his own identity. It's so long, I know. When he looks normal from the front, he's a rocker. Rockers have to have dumb hair. And a cautious killer tried to wipe them away. Mr. Latouche was an undercover Interpol agent. Doesn't that mean that they can pull up like what he was doing, who he was tracking, get some insight there? Yeah, I know, Shark Man. So him being Lamar's manager was just a cover, most likely. There's one other important detail I found. Well, out with it. It concerns that .45 caliber revolver, the murder weapon. Apparently, it belonged to Romain Latouche. He had an Interpol permit to carry firearms, and the registration number on the revolver matched. So the victim was killed with his own weapon, which makes sense. It's hard to imagine someone who wasn't an Interpol agent with such a large revolver. Have you ever been to America, Clavier? So the victim was an Interpol agent, or on an undercover op. I wonder how that ties into everything. I mean, they have 50 caliber guns that people own. You don't need that. It's stupid to own that. Like, it's overkill, but whatever. Gotta tie in somehow, you'd think. Yeah, somehow. Because he's trying to get into space, I think. Yeah, arm-breaking revolver. Thanks for looking into that for us, Detective Crescend. It's a great help. Oh, no problem at all, Your Honor. I'll be heading out. Hold it! She recognizes the fucking voice. Wait, look, Lemurar, is something the matter? That voice just now. I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it. Fucking crazy hair is he gun. He did. I thought that at first the number was going to be his, but no, it's the other guy's. But she's still there, and she heard. Ooh, America likes auto AR. Yeah, you know. Darian? Mr. Darian, is it? It was him. I am sure of it. It was him? You aren't saying? That voice I heard, talking to Mr. Latouche, when I heard the gunshots fired. Oh my God. He did the murder, and the reason why he missed the cue in the concert is because it wasn't him. It was like a body double or something like that. And they fucked up because they don't know the music as well. And then he had, I mean, it depends, I guess. I don't know. I mean, and the thing is, Mr. Latouche was a big, muscly man, so there would be a lot more to travel through. You messed his anti-tank gun. It was him. I heard the gunshots fired. It was Mr. Darian. Is this some kind of joke? What? No way. The courtroom fell into such a chaotic state, the trial had to be suspended temporarily. I'd never seen that happen before. Of course, it's not every day that you get an accusation like that one. Lemurar fingering Darian Crescend. Not only is he a guitarist, he's a detective being fingered by a blind singer. Could it really have been his voice Lemurar heard? Things were changing fast, and frankly, I wasn't sure I could keep up with it. Hey, no wimping out now, Apollo. You know, at first I was gonna get a 40, but I ended up getting a 9mm because apparently 40 ammunition is like a bit more expensive and way less plentiful because 40 is just kind of like a weird middle ground between 9mm and a 45, and I was like 9mm. Save. Yes, I am a man who lives in Texas, and yes, I have a gun. I know. Crazy. Okay, so we're gonna end this recording. Oh man, that was a lot. We fingered that guy good though. Good job, Lemurar. Good job with the fingering.